Someone has been missing from SmackDown and is not clear to wrestle. Someone's expected to show up at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17. The trailer for Vince McMahon's documentary has been shown, and someone's edging towards retirement in July of 2023. All this and more on the All FN Wrestling Show. Hit it, interns.
Boom. Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown. It's the
FN Wrestling Show
with your host, Canada Dry and the JFB.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon. If I don't see you till later, save my supper, keep it warm. How you doing? Good evening. I am, of course, the now still reigning DTW champion of AFW. I'm the JFB, James from Boston, baby.
And I am, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I'm that gingered up, bubbly, fill up my cup right now, you son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Ooh, gives me mirrors. And of course, we can't have a show, especially a draft show, without having, well, the guys from the Magic of Wrestling, one of our sister pods. We are talking about the effing expert, Mr. Eyesiks. Say hello, Mr. Eyesiks.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the hell you reside. It is a glorious day here to have a draft here at All Effing Wrestling. And hello, everybody.
Yeah, and our starting goaltender, hailing from England with a goals against average of 0. He's got clean sheet after clean sheet. He is the magician, Liam Wakeland.
Woo!
Did you just say he has cream cheese after cream cheese?
Cream cheese after cream cheese.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, he's a clean sheet after clean
cheese.
Oh,
clean sheets. Yeah, clean sheet, not cream cheese.
I think he had cream cheese.
Yeah, I mean, nice little intro, nice little build up there. I'm super excited for some drafts. Let's do this.
All right. Oh. Got the Liam fan club in.
Just to clarify, this is what we would do if we owned a promotion.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Because I got
it was real.
Yeah, I got to set up for this. But before we get into our whole rigmarole, we have to knock out a few things, do a little house cleaning. One of them is the news. Quiet, intern.
From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB.
Good morning. Woo! Look at this coffee. Woo!
So, as you know, I'm all hooked up. I'm all hopped up on the monsters lately. I just can't get. You got one too. Okay, good. Yep. I had my coffee earlier, but nothing quite really triggers your brain cells like a good sip of Monster. So let's just get this, and we're going to get out the fact of the week. All right, the interesting fact of the week.
Yeah, we got to get an interesting fact of the week because. Whoa, geez!
All right,
his eyeballs out like Hanson.
We're ready to go. All right, so the fact of the week is this.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's just try something.
Okay.
I want everyone to hum with me. All right, now, did you know that if you're humming and you plug your nose, you can't do it?
Well,
I'm not going to try that.
Right off. It's like a off switch for humming.
I'm on the tail end of a cold. If I do that, I'm gonna my head's
Yeah, allergies. Yeah, that's a no-go here, pal. I'll take your word for it.
All right.
Right off.
I mean, it makes sense. Once the congestion leaves, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it on the set and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then
I think we all kind of went through this cold thing. Hey, I just recovered from it. Liam's still battling it. You're battling it. How about you, Jeremy?
I have had a lot of allergy issues, and my son this morning just tested positive for COVID. So,
hey, congratulations!
There's a distinct possibility that I'll be ill.
Oh dear.
Well, let's get to our news really quickly. If you're wondering where Drew McIntyre was for his tag match against the Usos on Friday Night SmackDown, McIntyre is not clear to wrestle due to an undisclosed injury. They're expecting him to miss about 6 to 8 weeks. Solo Sikoa decided to pay tribute to a fellow Samoan, Umaga, by giving Kevin Owens the Samoan Bulldozer and the Asiatic Spike. Nice little way to pay a little tribute to Umaga, who would have been 49 this year. We lost him too soon. Sasha Banks. Everybody remember Sasha Banks? Sasha Banks trademarks. Yeah, she trademarked her real name, Mercedes Vernado, which leads into this. The expectations is that she is going to appear in some way, shape, or form at New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest event, Wrestle Kingdom 17. I'm stoked. I'm excited. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Absolutely love this. Glad she's back. This will be a major coup for New Japan Pro Wrestling to get a legit star from the WWE.
Yeah.
To really highlight that new women's division.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
And she's mentioned that she wants to fight Kairi Sane. I mean, she's mentioned it for years that she's always wanted to fight her. So, I mean, she is the IWGP Women's Champion. So, Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on Sasha Banks showing up at Wrestle Kingdom 17?
I hope this happens. I do. I really hope this happens because I want to see what New Japan brings to the table as far as women's wrestling is concerned. This is brand new for them.
Yeah.
And I think adding someone like Sasha Banks to their repertoire is a very, very good idea. It's going to bring a lot of eyes to their product, a lot of North American eyes to their product that maybe ordinarily wouldn't watch or pay attention. I hope this is real, and I hope they do get her.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about the speculation of AEW now?
Yeah, lay it out. Lay it out, brother.
Well, here's the thing is that all of a sudden, now that she's officially done with WWE, now everyone is guessing that Saraya's partner for her match against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter will be none other than Sasha.
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing Mercedes. I'm a little biased. She's from Boston, Massachusetts, so obviously I got to throw my 100% support behind her. So,
and Saraya and Sasha are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Liam, what do you think?
I think if obviously she does show up at Wrestle Kingdom, I think this will make a big statement because you've all mentioned that it's a new women's division, and I think it would get a lot of people talking. Personally,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Noob and Company says Sasha Banks is pretty. Sasha Banks is pretty leaving WWE because this may be the end of the 4 horsewomen of WWE. I mean, they had a prime opportunity to strike while the iron was hot with the 4 horsewomen. They did not. They fumbled that ball for Brianna. So, Saraya has a mystery opponent. It very well could be Sasha Banks. Mercedes. Huh? Yeah.
You said opponent. That's partner.
Oh, her partner. Yeah, that's what I meant. Her partner. Her mystery partner. For those who are wondering what happened to the Vice TV's documentary about Vince McMahon called The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon, fear not. Ow. It will be here Tuesday from 8 to 10 on Vice TV. If you're looking forward to it like I am, it'll be interesting to see about Vince McMahon, what they have to say about Vince and his doings, if you will.
It's exciting.
Yeah, Impact has a brand new full-time wrestler. He is a Ring of Honor former World's Heavyweight Champion. Jonathan Gresham showed up at Impact during tapings.
Oh,
what do we think about Gresham showing up, Liam?
I mean, I'm happy for him. I like him as a in-ring style. I didn't want to. Obviously, he fell out with AEW after the ROH debacle. So the fact he's in Impact, I think, it's a good little fit for him.
Yeah, Mr. Expert.
It's a good fit for him. He's an excellent technical wrestler. I like to watch him work. He is incredibly tiny.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of works against him markability wise, but he's a fantastic worker though. His wife, Jordan Grace, is an Impact. I think it's a natural fit for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I'm wondering how long this contract is. It seems that people who go to Impact sign 1-year deals.
Yep.
It's because they're there and then they're not all of a sudden. It's just like, so it's a good place to showcase yourself if you're interested in New Japan or WWE.
Yeah. I love Jonathan Gresham. I'm a huge fan of his. I love his entrance. I love his style. But you're right. He's a garden gnome. I mean, he's built about the size of those little garden gnomes that you see at houses. And George Penning says, 9 lives, my booty. Vince is the actual devil, or closets due to God. Dude has more than that.
He doesn't have a skeleton in his closet. He's got a graveyard.
Yeah, he's got like 15 or 20 skeletons in his closet, including, I'm assuming, a couple of dead hookers. But what do I know?
Probably, yeah.
So let's go to our next one. Matt Riddle will be gone for up to 6 weeks with an undisclosed issue. They're not saying if it's an injury or not, or it's a personal issue, but he will be gone for 6 weeks. Miro off of TV until they
say about that is this.
Yeah.
Bro.
Miro's been off of TV and will be off on TV until they have a better creative direction for him. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on Miro not being on TV?
Yeah, I've spoken about my frustration of this in the past. Miro's a great talent. He's got a great aesthetic. He's got a great look. I don't understand why he's not been on TV for so long. It's just one of those guys that came over from WWE to AEW, just kind of floated in limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate to see it. He's a talented dude. I'd like to see him come back.
Yeah, I agree. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
So as I was talking to you guys before the start of the show, Samoa Joe called him out at the press conference last night. So
now, was this a kayfabe thing or like a shoot thing?
Well, they're always in between shoot and kayfabe on that. You never know. But I think maybe we could see Samoa Joe a Miro thing going on here for the title. So
I'd be all right with that.
I'd be good with that.
Tony Khan was reported as saying he didn't want to do anything with Miro unless it was substantial. So he had to wait for the right moment to bring Miro back because he just didn't want him to wrestle on dark, and so I get that.
Yeah,
or have the stupid video game gimmick like he brought him in as.
Yeah, exactly. Liam, what are your thoughts?
The problem I've got with this is we've been here before. Was it like 9 months before it was off and he had no creative direction? It came back like a proper, like a point to prove, and then we're like kind of like back to square one. So I'm kind of frustrated personally.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm kind of cheesed off about it as well because I'm a huge Miro fan. And I think that guy can really run rampart. He run rampage all the way through everybody, and they give him crap after crap after crap.
Yep.
WWF Creative reporting that they are preparing for Charlotte's return to Canada Dry. When do you think Charlotte makes her return?
You turn back to Picasso mode.
Oh my God. Robot Canada Dry has a leaky spark tube. We'll wait for him because, God, that picture just looks like he's constipated. I'm going to go with the effort expert. Mr. Expert, when do you think Charlotte's coming back?
Mr. Dry looks like he just smelled a horrible fart there. No, I think Charlotte Flair comes back in the Women's Royal Rumble, and I think she wins it.
Okay. Liam Wakeland?
I think the Royal Rumble as well, but personally, I don't actually care when she comes back because I am not a fan. Just leave it at that.
And Canada Dry, Robot Canada Dry is gone. Someone assassinated him, or Canada finally did not pay their internet prices. The internet is now completely down for the entire country of Canada. I'm going to go with mine. I think she comes to the Royal Rumble. I think she wins it. And I think she is going to go to WrestleMania and she's going to dethrone Ronda Rousey. I don't see her going to Raw. I see her going to SmackDown. I see her taking on Ronda Rousey.
I see that too. Yeah, I think that's very logical.
All right, so let's go to our next group until Canada Dry comes back. Dustin Rhodes announces retirement from the ring when his contract ends in July of 2023. Liam Wakeland, what are your thoughts on it?
So obviously we covered this. He's been like ruined it for a while, but I mean, it's going to be a sad thing because I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. He's probably one of the best in-ring workers. I do think he's not done behind the scenes. I think he's merely in-ring, personally.
Yeah. Mr. Expert, what are your thoughts?
I always loved Dustin's work. I loved him back when he was the natural Dustin Rhodes when I was a kid. And then, of course, Goldust, he just really shined. Like, he brought out that controversial androgynous character. That, I mean, this was in the mid 90s. You know, that was like, this wasn't today. This was in like the mid 90s, and it was very controversial, very weird, but it worked. He pulled it off. Oh, yeah. And I always loved his intensity. I love his little drop down uppercut that he does. And his moves always look stiff, but good. Never hurt anybody to my knowledge. And I've always been a big fan of his. He's had a long, wonderful career, and I hope he has a very happy retired life.
Yeah. Do you think he gets into the Hall of Fame either in 2024 or 2025?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll be that soon, but yeah, I do think Goldust goes in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Liam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think to me it'd be a crime if he doesn't. Obviously, with the Goldust character, personally.
Yeah, I mean the Roddy Piper thing at WrestleMania was just
the Hollywood backlot street fight.
That was amazing. Yeah.
That was absolutely beautiful. I just watched that recently. I watched that not that long ago, and
it's a fun match. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. You know, they snuck in the O.J. Simpson footage and everything. It's crazy.
And we're joined back by Canada Dry. Robot Canada Dry has spark tubes cleaned out. You okay, buddy?
I don't know. I gotta do something about my computer.
Yeah. So on Dustin Rhodes announcing his retirement. So the question to you is, do you see him going to the Hall of Fame either maybe in 2024 or 2025?
Oh, I think that Cody has anything to do with it. It'll be 2025.
Okay, cool. William Regal's pod is shutting down amid rumors of his WWE return. Man, his AAW one was short but very sweet. I mean, he did an incredible job while he was there, but you know, he's Triple H's guy, he's Shawn Michaels' guy. I don't really.
Well, you know what the true story behind this is, right?
What's that?
Tony Khan's mother had a stroke. He's in the hospital visiting his mother.
Yeah.
And William Regal phones him, and he talks to him about going back to be with his kid.
Oh, wow. In
NXT. So Tony Khan said, listen, how could I refuse that to you? So that's how it all went down. It all went down in the hospital.
Yeah, the problem I've got with this is obviously soon as Triple H took over, I knew it would just be a matter of time before Regal would go back to WWE.
Yeah.
It fits that mold for my thingy, especially NXT.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great kayfabe GM. And he's great behind the scenes.
Son.
Shoot. I don't remember who his son is.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but he's been on the show.
Yeah, he's
Google that for us to find out his son.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Also, let's get to our last. We always want to end with some good news. Barry Windham suffered a massive heart attack. He is out of ICU. He's in a regular hospital room, which is really good. Bray Wyatt tweeted about it as well. it's good because that would have been a really tough loss, I think, for the wrestling world is to lose Barry Windham. Yeah, go ahead, Liam.
Charlie Dempsey is his son.
That's it, Charlie Dempsey. There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
Of course, he can't be called Regal. They can't ever let any legacy talent be called their.
No, I mean, you know, I got one word for you, Braun Breaker, right there. Oh, that's 2 words.
I don't understand that at all. Why
it's stupid. I don't get it either.
That's okay. When he eventually leaves and goes to another promotion, they'll call him Braun Steiner or something like that. So
I hope.
All right, so that is our news. Let's get to our last bit of house cleaning, and that is the joke of the week.
Well, hello, all FN wrestling. Well, hello, all FN wrestling podcast. It's Bremo here, coming with the joke of the week. And my son. Say hi. So, John Cena gets knocked out during a wrestling match. 3 hours, he wakes up in a hospital. John slowly asks them, "Where am I?" And the nurse replies, "I see you." And he says, "No, you can't." That's all for now. Have a wonderful day. Bremo, killing you with kindness. One joke at a time.
Oh, dear.
You can't see me, mate.
Can't see me. Oh, man. If you got a joke of the week, and I know you do, send it to either Canada Dry at All FN Wrestling. Send it to the JFB at FN Podcast. Send it to Liam Wakeland. Send it to the Mr. Experts. Send it to someone, for God's sake. Smoke Signal, Carrier Pigeon, you name it. We accept all formats. So bring it on. And now we are done. And now it is time for the main event. Hit it, interns.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
So we are ready for the main event. So, as you know, we have a prediction league. It's called AFW. But imagine if AFW was legitimate. What if Canada Dry won the Canadian lottery, the JFB won the American lottery? We pooled our money together and said, you know what? We need something a little bit more different, if you will, than WWE or AEW, but, you know, a notch better than Impact, MLW, and the rest of the lower leagues. And it came to us because, see, I'm a huge fan of Legends, and I'm a huge fan of, like, Legends camps where you can go and either play against your childhood heroes in baseball. You can do it with hockey. With the Bruins, they have a Legends camp where you spend the week with all these guys from back in the day, Ray Borg, Zdeno Chara. You get to play hockey against them, or the Red Sox, or Vancouver Canucks. Every major sports team has a Legends camp. So what if we were to bring Legends back to AFW to wrestle for one more promotion? Now, mind you, most of these guys are no longer with us, but we like to think that, hologram versions we can bring them back from the dead like in the old soap operas.
Well, obviously they're in their prime. We're picking everyone in their prime. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So we spun the intern and like spin the bottle. We spun the intern with him pointing his finger. We spun him around and around, and he landed on the JFB, who goes first. Now I have a specific mode in which I'm going. I want to build a program. And so what I want to do is you need to have a monster, someone to chase the face if you so choose. And so I decided I'm going to go. You need a heel. You just need a freaking amazing heel. And so I am going with the man whose my car is named after. I am going with my very first pick in the first round. It is going to be Roddy Piper.
Wow.
Now, here's the reason why. You need a heel. Now, you have to have that chase. The face has to chase the champion heel, chase him for 6, 8, 12 months, and then the final payoff, he defeats the treacherous villain. But I'm a huge villain fan. I love heels. I love heels more than faces because they don't have rules. The only job to do is to screw the antagonist, screw the protagonist. And so I chose Roddy Piper. Canada Dry, your thoughts on my very first pick?
Wow. When you said giant, I thought you were going with Andre.
Yeah. I know. Swerved you.
Wow. Roddy Piper is such a great pick. He's the hot rod. Like, he's a very, very good heel and such a great choice. You can't go wrong with a hot rod.
No way. Just when you thought you got the answers, I'm changing the questions. Mr. Expert, your thoughts on my very first pick?
Well, Piper's definitely a great promo guy. And when he was hot as a heel back in the 80s, that was prime vintage Piper. I think it's a good pick, man. I think he's a solid promo guy, top heel for any promotion. I think any promotion today would be very lucky to have prime Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I dig it. I like it.
Okay. Mr. Wakeland, your thoughts on my first round pick?
I agree with Mr. Eyesiks there. I mean, I absolutely love his promo work. I mean, I'll always remember him more as a heel. Yeah. I mean, as Canada Dry said as well, you can't go wrong with a hot rod.
Hell no. No, you cannot. So now on the clock, picking at number 2 in the first round, Canada Dry. Who is your selection?
Who is he picking?
He's the best there is. He's the best there was. And he's the best there ever will be. He's Bret, the Hitman Hart. And I can see some nice work going on with Bret and Roddy here. With the heel and the WrestleMania match, one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
I think Bret is the perfect person. Not only is he a great wrestler, his mind for the business is why you want to start a promotion with Bret because of his mind, not just his skill in the ring, but his storytelling is second to none as a wrestler telling a story from start to finish. And I really think Bret's promo work is really underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on the number 1 pick for Canada Dry?
Arguably the greatest technician of all time. My personal favorite wrestler of all time as well. Yeah, I love the pick. What can you say?
Yeah. Mr. Wakeland.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Bret. I mean, one of my favorite matches with Bret is Bret versus Owen. Probably one of my all-time favorite matches. But the guy's got everything. Best in the ring, best promo work, best storytelling. I mean, when you think of an all-rounder, Bret's probably on top of your list.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a solid pick because you got to go with somebody who's got a mind for the business. You can't just throw a face in there and hope to God the face sticks. And you need a guy who's going to constantly change with direction of storyline. And no one does it better than Bret. I mean, the WrestleMania 13 turn where it was the double turn was absolutely magnificent. Yep. You saw how he was able to play a heel. He played a face. And that's the thing. Like, he was a face everywhere except for the United States where he was a heel at times.
Yeah. And the thing about Bret is,
he
made Stone Cold Steve Austin a star.
Oh, yeah.
That start of that feud with him made Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And like, he doesn't get the credit for that properly.
Yeah. You start the fire with the 316 promo. But you have to build on it. You have to add logs to that fire, and that's what Bret did. Bret added logs and built that Stone Cold fire, and it never went out. So now on the clock is the effing expert. Mr. Eyesiks, who is your first pick?
My number 1 pick would be would be the top baby face in the promotion if I ran it.
Yeah.
And it would be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
He would be the brawler. He would be the everyman that everybody loves.
Yeah.
He could put on the very violent, brutal matches that people like to watch, like one of my favorite matches of all time, Bret the Hitman Hart submission match, WrestleMania 13.
Did you
Stone
read
Cold.
this?
He's a cultural icon. He's my number one pick.
Mr. Wakeland, your thoughts on the first pick of Mr. Eyesiks?
You can't go wrong with Stone Cold. I mean, I even love him as his GM. I think he was so entertaining with that. Also, I think the mindset as well. Obviously, with Austin, I think that brings so much to any promotion. And he could put on a classic with absolutely anybody. So, yeah, solid pick.
Yeah. I gotta say, you can't go wrong with Stone Cold because he plays that line, that razor thin line between being a heel and being a face, that true tweener. And that's what's great, is that he can kind of go a little bit more heelish, or he can go way more babyface. And that balance, he knew how to walk that tightrope. Not many people do. And that's
an independent badass.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's missing today. There's not an independent, like, tweener badass who's
cheered,
but he'll beat anybody up, heel or face.
Yep. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the first pick?
What I like about this Stone Cold pick is you're getting Stone Cold before the neck issues, before the knee issues. So you're getting a healthy Stone Cold.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things you can do with him. You can make him a heel, you can make him a face. So I think he's a great selection.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we go to the second round, right? Yeah.
No, I haven't got my pick yet.
Oh yeah, that's right, Liam.
You're leaving me out today. Shall I just go?
Sorry, NyQuil brain fart.
No,
who's your first pick in the first round?
So I originally were going to be my tag team first, but you know what? I'm going to throw probably one of my all-time favorite British wrestlers. I think you should have known that, being from the UK. Davey Boy Smith. I mean,
all right.
I absolutely love Davey Boy Smith. Great in the ring, all-rounder. He's got one of the best moments in British history. Yeah, Davey Boy Smith for me.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Davey Boy Smith. That SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium against Bret Hart will go down in history as probably one of the great matches of the big four that WWE puts on. You can't go wrong with British Bulldog at all. I mean, he was built like a brick house, but he was nimble. I mean, he had some moves, and he really could move around that ring really well. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I'm absolutely so happy that Liam picked the British Bulldog. One of the all-time greats, and I don't think he quite gets the credit that he deserves. It's really sad that he never won the world title. He should have been given a world title. Same with Owen, but I'm happy that he's part of AFW.
Yeah,
there you go.
Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts?
I think it's a very good pick. I think if we're drafting a powerhouse style wrestler who fits that aesthetic and can do those power moves, Davey Boy Smith's one of the best to have that style of all time. I think he's underrated as a worker.
Oh yeah,
I think he's fantastic. I think having him would allow AFW to have a strong market in the UK.
Yeah,
I think financially that could be pretty profitable. I think it's an awesome pick.
Yeah. All right. So we are now into the second round. The JFB is on the clock. The JFB writes his pick, sends it to the commissioner. I am going with someone who you need someone that is so universally loved for his style that, he's a small man in a big package. I'm going with Jushin Thunder Liger. He is going to be the cornerstone of my flippy flop flop. He is going to be my cruiserweight. He is going to wrestle anybody and everybody. You can't go wrong with Jushin Thunder Liger. That guy, 30 plus years of professional wrestling, has wrestled in every freaking promotion, including WWE. The man should be in any and all Hall of Fames. If he's not, your Hall of Fame is illegitimate, much like Vince McMahon's love child. So let's go with Canada Dry. Canada Dry, your thoughts on my first pick?
I'm surprised that you picked Jushin Thunder.
Yeah.
I thought perhaps Owen Hart. I thought perhaps Andre. So it's really a bit of a shocking pick to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going with I'm going with shock value on this one. Like I said, I got my monster heel. Now I need my ultimate baby face. Because even when he was a bad guy, when he was with the kanji and the face paint, he's still a good guy. He just amped up and cheated every once in a while. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on Jushin Thunder Liger?
I think it's a solid pick. I love Liger. I think he's probably second to Rey Mysterio all time as like best cruiserweight / junior heavyweight.
Yeah.
I love Liger. I've always been a fan of him. His Super Brawl match, I think in 1992 with Jushin Thunder Liger. One of my two favorite WCW matches of all time, the other being Eddie versus Ray at Halloween Havoc, I think 97.
Yeah.
But Jushin Thunder Liger is amazing. I considered putting him on my short list. I ended up not putting him on there. But if I had like a junior heavyweight / cruiserweight division, Liger would be at the top for me.
Yeah. Oh, Liam Wakeland, what are your thoughts on my pick?
I mean, I've seen a bit of Jushin Thunder Liger stuff. He is entertaining. I was, again, it was on my short list, but I didn't put him on. But yeah, I think as a cruiserweight, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. All right. So Canada Dry is on the clock. He writes down this pick. Who are you taking for your second pick in the second round?
I am going to take the greatest female wrestler of our era, perhaps any era, Trish Stratus.
All right.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus.
Like, you can't go wrong with the Stratus faction, right?
Hell no, you can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
That just sent like little goosebumps.
Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on Trish Stratus going number 2?
Excellent pick. She always had an amazing look. She's kind of the woman in American wrestling that kind of transcended from being the pretty model-esque woman to actually legitimately being able to work in the ring. And she was really, really good.
Yeah.
Of course, her and Lita main evented Monday Night Raw, the first time that women have ever main evented a WWE event. Legendary. I have absolutely no issue with it. I love Trish Stratus. Always been a big fan.
Yeah. Liam, your thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely love Trish. I think she's great in the ring. She's got the look. She's got everything. And I think, again, I'm going to mention, obviously, do you know the knowledge backstage? I think that helps so much, especially with the women's division.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Trish Stratus. I mean, for someone who at the very beginning of her career was walking on all fours and barking like a dog to becoming one of the greatest women wrestlers of all time without having to go to Japan to prove it or work in the indies to prove it, shows you that, she knew what she wanted to do and she bided her time. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with Trish Stratus at all. So now the effing expert is on the clock. Who is your second pick in the second round?
This would be my number one heel in AFW if I had my way, and this would be the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Ooh, Ric Flair. Woo!
The swagger.
He's getting signed to a 1-year contract, by the way.
The swagger, the mic skills, the cultural icon that is Ric Flair with the Ric Flair drip and everything, the old school promos with the suit and tie and the sunglasses. I would put vintage NWA Ric Flair in a feud with vintage Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would be my top program.
Hot damn. Liam Wakeland, what are your thoughts on the Nature Boy going second?
That is an absolute solid pick. I mean, I absolutely love Ric Flair. A lot of people hate on him for whatever reasons, but the guy's so entertaining. He's got the look, he's got the style, and he's not called the dirtiest player in the game for nothing.
There you go. Woo. You can't go wrong. I mean, I guess you could question whether or not he's truly retired only because, he's talking about wrestling again. But we'll overlook it because, he is a Hall of Famer. He is multiple-time Hall of Famer. You can't go wrong with the dirtiest man in the game because even when he's a face, he's still a freaking heel. He still cheats. He still swaggers. He still struts around like a peacock. That's a solid freaking pick. I can't ignore that pick. So, Liam Wakeland, who is your second pick?
So we haven't actually done a tag team yet, so we're going to knock that out the park, and it's probably one of my all-time favorite tag teams.
Yeah,
it's the Road Warriors.
I love
the style. I love the in-ring, and I just love the entrance. I mean, for me, Road Warriors is probably my number one tag team.
Oh man, I gotta say this. They were on my list of tag teams to go with, and I kind of was tempted to go early on tag, but I said, I got to get Piper first. I got to get Liger second. So you can't go wrong. The fact when they came out in AWA to Iron Man, when they were part of the Legion of Doom with Rick Rude and Kevin Sullivan and a couple others, and then kind of went on their own. They dominated AWA. They dominated NWA. WCW, you name it. The only place they didn't really dominate was in WWE because I think Vince saw them as they're not my guys. They're someone else's. And they gave them the worst storylines. And I'll never forgive Vince for crossing that line with Hawk and his alcoholism and his drug abuse and making that into a storyline. Just absolutely disgusting, but you can't go wrong. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the Legion of Doom / Road Warriors?
I really I was flip-flopping here on whether to take Trish in the second round or take the Road Warriors. And I think I botched it because if I would have taken the Road Warriors, I think I still could have got Trish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts?
They were close to the top of my tag team list as well. I love the Road Warriors / Legion of Doom. They're my all-time favorite tag team. Aesthetically, they're both giants. The face paint, what a rush. The catchphrases. These guys are awesome. They're huge, ultimate badasses. I think they'd be over in any generation.
Yeah.
And JFB, you made that point about what Vince McMahon did with the alcohol deal. I was actually at the Monday Night Raw where he climbed up on top of the Titantron and fell off of it. Like I was actually at that one. That was here in Kentucky. And
wow.
It was, that was very, very poor taste, especially with what ended up happening to the poor guy. But I love LOD Road Warriors.
The other thing about them, they were used to kind of replace Demolition.
Yeah.
It's like after they started taking off, Demolition kind of just disappeared.
Well, Demolition kind of sort of ripped them off anyways.
Yeah. Well, the reason why Demolition got kind of weighed over and then eventually disappeared is just because those two guys did not deal with Vince the right way. They stood their ground and they paid the price for it because now that Vince is no longer in WWE, I think we'll see them eventually in I think we'll eventually see them in the Hall of Fame, but as long as Vince wasn't around, he hated Bill Eadie.
Well, they were part of that concussion lawsuit, right?
Yeah, they were part of the concussion lawsuit.
I always figure that's a disqualifier for anybody for going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right, so now we are into round 3. The commissioners standing on the podium. The JFB writes in his pick. I'm going with a tag team as well, but I'm going with a tag team that was so awesome. They made and named a rule after them. I am going with the Fabulous Freebirds. You can't go wrong with the Fabulous Freebirds. Outside of the whole Confederate flag gimmick that they had on their clothing, which is absolutely disgusting. Those guys revolutionized tag team wrestling. they created the Freebird rule, which means any two guys from the faction could wrestle as the champs. Michael Hayes, Bam Bam Gordy, they exemplified what tag team wrestling was. And I will never forget the steel cage match between Michael Hayes, Kerry Von Erich, and Ric Flair when Bam Bam slammed Kerry's head into the steel cage and created one of the greatest freaking rivalries in all of wrestling. And that was in World Class Championship Wrestling. You can't go wrong. Von Erichs, Canada Dry, what are your thoughts on my pick with the Freebirds?
The Freebirds. Such a great pick. Because you get 3.
Yeah.
You get the extra guy.
I do.
So that's great. Gotta think about loopholes here when you're drafting, and this is a great loophole. You get an extra guy.
I'm all about
you draft the New Day, you get Big E too, right?
There you go.
But yeah, I love this pick. I love the Freebirds. They changed the way we do wrestling.
Yeah.
So they were on Tales from the Territories and just going against the Von Erichs. It's such a great story. If you haven't seen Tales from the Territories, I recommend you give it a watch because it's so good. It's got some great ones on there.
Yeah, the one about Stampede just brought tears to my eyes. I mean, there are guys who are behind the scenes that you don't know who they are, like Stu Hart, or like Fritz Von Erich. When you realize the amount of respect that these guys got from the boys, says the world about who you're dealing with. So watch that show. Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his ex-wife produced it. It is absolutely freaking amazing. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on the Freebirds?
The Freebirds were going to be my heel pick for tag teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say about them? They're awesome. Charisma for days. The Freebird rule was used many times by other teams over the years. During the WCW days, they had the outsider rules where Hall and Nash would swap out with Six Pac once in a while.
Yep.
And then, of course, the New Days used it in recent years.
Yeah.
So the Freebird rule kind of became like, canonical in the wrestling world. These guys are great. Like I said, they had a great look. They had mic skills. They had charisma. They had swagger. I think if you just strip the Confederate flag off of them and stick them right here in 2022, I think they could get over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Liam, what are your thoughts?
I mean, for what they've done for the wrestling industry as a whole, I mean, it says it all, really. But as to piggyback what Mr. Eyesiks said there, they had the look. They had pretty much everything.
I mean, they are just freaking phenomenal. They're freaking phenomenal. So, Canada Dry, who is your third pick in the third round?
Well, I've got to readjust how I'm doing this. And your loophole really got my mind churning.
Ooh.
So, with my third pick, I picked the tag team, one of the greatest tag team champions of all time in the WWF, Owen Hart and Yokozuna.
Oh,
excellent.
Wow.
Yikes. I did not see that coming from a mile away. I was like, what? Where is it? And then all of a sudden it hits you right in the smack of the head. Good freaking pick.
What I did there is I got two of the greats for one pick.
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on the loophole pick?
I think that's an amazing loophole, and I think you might have just given me a spur of the moment idea for my tag team.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, I mean, Owen Hart and Yokozuna, man, if you could get those like a 2-for-1 pick, that's pretty damn good, man. I can't criticize it.
All right, Mr. Wakeland, your thoughts?
First of all, I think Canada dries up in a can of worms now. Everyone's just going to be like, I picked this person, combine that person. But no, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, you've got two solid in-ring workers. I mean, everybody's an Owen Hart fan. Yokozuna doesn't get the credit he deserves, but I think as a tag team, you can't go wrong.
Oh, geez. What a freaking pick. I mean, they weren't the greatest tag team around, but man, they were solid when they were together for they were together
with Jim Cornette, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were. I don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. I am lost for words. Mr. Eyesiks, who is your third pick?
Well, I had a pick in mind, but since Canada Dry introduced this loophole, I have decided on the spot that I'm going to choose a different tag team.
Okay.
And my tag team is going to be the Mega Powers.
Oh!
I'm going to take Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage as a 2-for-1 pick.
Whoa.
I love it. The Mega Powers.
Now finding all these stars.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Liam Wakeland, what are your thoughts?
I think that's literally just like bang. I felt that one. But yeah, the Mega Powers, I mean, probably one of the most entertaining people ever. You got two big guys, Hulk Hogan, you've got Macho Man. I mean, you got two of the biggest stars. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. You got me there, but good and proper.
My God. I mean, that's the ultimate loophole right there. Like, you're getting pretty much two faces of your promotion right there, smack dab in the middle of AFW, between the Mega Powers, between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. And you're talking about two guys that can play heel or face. I mean,
absolutely.
Bravo, good sir. Bravo. He found the loophole and he drove a semi truck right through it. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I'm taking partial credit for this. I inspired it.
Inspired by Canada Dry.
Yeah. I love it. The only problem with this is now we're going to have to be looking to sign some free agents later to get some more tag teams in our promotion, and we'll sign some.
Yeah, that's all right. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. Wow, man, Mega Powers. Liam Wakeland, who is your third pick?
I don't think I can top that. But do you know what? I'm going to go with a female wrestler. It probably might surprise a few people, but I was a huge fan of this person. It's Alundra Blaze.
Oh, Medusa.
Yeah.
I mean, I always remember the thing with the belt in the trash can, probably one of the most iconic moments ever. But in ring, I mean, she was probably up there. She doesn't get the credit, but yeah, Alundra Blaze.
You cannot go wrong with Alundra Blaze. Not at all. I think that's a solid pick. You know, when you're creating a women's division, you need to have someone to be the face of that division. Nobody's better than her, with maybe the exception of my fourth pick, but we'll see. Canada Dry, your thoughts on Alundra Blaze / Medusa?
I love this pick. She pretty much revitalized and paved the way for Trish Stratus and all these women who came later. She pretty much ended the Moolah era.
Yeah.
And put a different feel on women's wrestling. So I applaud this pick.
Yeah. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts?
I think this is a fantastic pick. I've always been a big fan of Medusa. I think, you know, kind of like what you guys said, she kind of transcended the Moolah era of like the 80s and before, and kind of bridged the gap between that and like the Attitude Era women, which eventually led to the, you know, Trish and Lita and all that. I think she's great. She did. I never thought she really got her just due here in North America. She had a lot of good work in Japan. But I mean, she was a great worker. She had a great look. She had charisma. Yeah. Solid pick.
Okay. So we are now down to the last round, and I'm going first. And I you know, if you have to pick a woman, I have to pick a woman. If you are going to pick Medusa, which was on my very, very short list, you need to have someone to go up against her. You need to have a heel female wrestler. And there was none more deserving of my pick than Bull Nagano. She was a monster of a heel in WWE. And for someone to come from Japan to WWE and got booked correctly makes you wonder who in the hell Vince McMahon was doing drug-wise, yet to actually book her properly. Bull Nagano, she was a big girl, but man, she could float like a little butterfly, like a little hummingbird all over the ring, and she was just a monster. Canada Dry, your thoughts on my pick?
It's another one of those picks that is kind of off the board, kind of like your Liger pick, but even though she's not as well known as a lot of these other picks, I think it's still a great pick.
Yeah.
I think she is a great wrestler, despite the fact that she's not as famous as some of the other women that could be on this list.
Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on my fourth and final pick?
I like it. Very solid pick. Her back and forth matches with Medusa were really good. I didn't have her on my list, but she did cross my mind. I think she could play the perfect monster heel female role.
Yeah. Mr. Wakeland, your thoughts?
I'm going to be a bummy, and I will be honest, I have no idea who this person is. I think it's a little bit before my time, so
you need to Google her and look at her hair.
Yeah, she had a big, huge flat top.
Her hair was awesome,
and she had like lightning bolts coming out of her eyes.
Yeah, I think that's what
terrifying.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, good, man.
Canada Dry, who is your fourth and final pick?
Well, as you know, I picked my tag team.
Yeah.
I picked my woman.
Yeah.
And I picked one of my singles wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I got, and you guys can't pick anymore. So I'm going with someone that can carry a promotion, and getting him the fourth round is amazing to me.
Yeah.
I'm going with Andre the frickin' Giant.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Andre. Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts on Canada Dry's final pick?
Andre is the ultimate monster in pro wrestling history. You know, right below him is probably someone like Bruiser Brody, but Andre is like number one on monster heels. I think a lot of like modern fans just saw Andre in his late WWE days when he was broken down and hurt and he couldn't work. If you watch if anybody out there has New Japan World, do yourself a favor and look up Andre the Giant and watch some of his matches from the 70s and the early 80s. Yeah. He had matches with Hogan in Japan. He had matches with Antonio Inoki. Yep. He had some awesome matches. That dude could work. He was a technical worker, a strong style worker. He was amazing. I mean, Andre in his prime would absolutely tear it up today. Yeah.
Mr. Magician, your thoughts?
I mean, I absolutely love Andre. I'm actually surprised nobody's already picked him, but
that's why I took him.
There you go. But yeah, the guy was absolutely massive in the ring. Great worker. I always loved him as a heel as well. I thought that was really entertaining. But yeah, solid pick.
Yeah. I mean, that guy from the 70s, even the late 60s, 70s, into the very early 80s, was a draw. He'd go to a territory. He'd dominate for about 3 or 4 months. He'd get paid. He'd go to another territory. But his New Japan work is amazing. There's him and Bruiser Brody, him and Stan Hansen, you name it. He fought anybody and everybody in Japan. So if you have New Japan Pro Wrestling, we have their New Japan Pro Wrestling World. Just watch 4 or 5 matches, and you'll understand why he was a much better wrestler than what we saw in the late 80s, early 90s.
Much better.
He was broken down.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Expert, you are on the clock. Your fourth and final pick.
All right. Well, I got to pick a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm torn here on a baby face or a heel, but I think I'm going to go baby face.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go ahead and pick Lita.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, Lita and Trish, that's like the duo. That's the iconic duo of modern day women's wrestling.
Yeah.
They go together like peanut butter and jelly, man. I got to go with Lita. Very over baby face. Could fly off the rope with that moonsault. She's awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Wakeland, your thoughts on Lita going in the 4th round?
The one thing I like about Lita as well is she does actually fight, obviously, male wrestlers as well. So, I mean, you can't have Lita without Trish, in my opinion. So I think absolutely solid pick.
Yeah. I'll say this: you can't have peanut butter without jelly. You can't have meatballs without spaghetti sauce. You can't have Trish without Lita. That's all there is to it. I mean, one has to go, the other has to go with, and that is an absolutely amazing pick. I was always a bigger Lita fan just because I like her flippy flop flop, and how she just would recklessly jump off of the top rope, and didn't care about her, didn't care about her body being destroyed. But my 1 and 2 for women always flip flops. It's always either going to be Trish or it's going to be Lita. It's one or the other. It flip flops all the time. So, and to Dry, your thoughts on Mr. Eyesiks' pick?
I think this is great. He did my pick a service, so thank you very much, Mr. Eyesiks. We needed that in our promotion.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to Mr. Liam Wakeland for the 4th pick in the 4th round, the last pick. Who are you going to take?
Right, so obviously we've done the tag team, we've done the female wrestler. The only one who obviously I would like to have seen more. It's a bit sad what actually happened to him personally, but it's Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
I absolutely love Eddie Guerrero. I mean, he has probably one of the best promos I've ever seen with Brock Lesnar, probably up there. But in ring, absolutely brilliant. The lie, cheat, and steal thing, absolutely just caught on so much. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. All right. Well, all I gotta say is this: the fact that Eddie Guerrero made it to the 4th round is a complete and utter shocker. Because I consider him to be on the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. I consider him to be one of the 4 greatest wrestlers of all time. His death was painful. It sucked, but he exemplified. He was so unique. He could wrestle lucha. He could wrestle strong style. He did it in Japan as Black Tiger Mask. He rocked in WCW, WWE. He rocked while he was in ECW. You just go on and on and on how amazing that this guy is. Canada Dry, your thoughts on Mr. Wakeland's final pick?
I'm loving this, and what a good feud maybe between Eddie and Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah,
you could see those two working together. You could see Eddie working with Owen.
Yeah.
So I think that I think it's a very, very good pick. You can see him working with Bret Hart.
Oh yeah.
So I think very, very good pick. Lie, cheat, and steal.
Hell yeah, Mr. Eyesiks, your thoughts?
Amazing pick. I love it. I mean, obviously one of the greatest cruiserweight wrestlers of all time. When he went to WWE, he was a main eventer, showed a whole new side of himself.
Yeah.
One of the best overall in-ring workers of all time, period.
Yeah.
Regardless of if he's facing Brock Lesnar or if he's facing JBL or if he's facing somebody like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
The guy wrestled his ass off. He was amazing. He was great on the mic. Yeah, I agree with what you guys said. If it put him up against Owen, put him up against Brett, could have had some amazing technical matches. His frog splash is still the best of all time. Nobody's topped it.
Nope, not even close.
Love him. Great pick.
All right, guys, that is it. I
wanted to also wanted to include one manager each. So you're on the clock.
All right, while I'm on the clock, I'm picking manager. Whew, man, this is tough because I think everybody thinks I'm going to go with a certain guy. And to be honest with you, I'd be stupid not to go with him. I'm going with Bobby the Brain Heenan. I think that any guy that gets shot at by an old lady in Chicago, he kind of gets the first pick. I mean, he has to. I mean, the man got shot at. Outside of that, I mean, he was not a bad wrestler. I've watched his wrestling before he became a manager. It's not bad at all, but he knows he is so so system-like on how he works a crowd and how he collects the wrestlers. Rick Rude, Nature Boy. I mean, the list goes on and on. Andre the Giant. So I'm going with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Okay, so for my pick, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart.
Yeah,
because we need somebody to do our ring music because we can't afford to pay out all these things. And he's just got a great mind for the business. Good little weasel running around the ring.
Yeah, double dip there.
That's
I like
giving
that.
me the mouth of South Heart.
I love it. Mr. Expert, who is your manager?
Cornette. I'm going to stick with Kentucky here.
There you go.
Excellent on the mic, very over as a heel. The business of the tennis rackets and the rich guy. One of the best minds in the history of wrestling. He could help backstage creatively as well. So yeah, there we go.
All right, Mr. Wakeland, who is your pick?
For me, I mean, I'm a big, massive fan of this guy. It's Paul Bearer. I mean, I love his.
There we go.
Yeah,
I love probably one of the most unique managers you could ever think of.
Yep.
I mean, promos are brilliant. Plus, you can do stuff backstage, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
Percy Pringle, absolutely. He was over as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, back in the NWA, he was. All right, guys, that's our picks. I think everybody here is a winner. I don't think there are any losers. The JFB went a little unconventional. Canada Dry kicked off the loophole and got the ball rolling with the tag team loopholes. So, holy Christopher Columbus, man, that was awesome. So, with that being said, you can find us in all our social media links 2 ways. You go to youtube.com/effing wrestling, click like and subscribe. You can get in on the live, on our live shows. What's really good is that if you scroll to the bottom, all our social media links are there, or you can go to our amazing website, effingwrestling.com, scroll all the way down, go past the Touch Brothers, right there, right below the Touch Boys is all our social media links. And we're going to be adding some more too as well. We are in the middle of getting a server up for Mastodon, which will cover professional wrestling, which there isn't any, which is really a shocker with over 10 million people using it. We're going to be the first to offer a place for wrestling fans to come hang out and talk and
tell
chat.
them they'll take our idea.
Yeah. So, I'm already in the works of it. I've already claimed the URL, so nobody can take it. So you can go to all our social media links. If you like shirts like this shirt, or the one Canada Dries has, or the one that Vavoom, the one that our face of the place runs, Miss Natalia Mokova, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. Now, if you are a fan of old school wrestling, and a couple of the guys that we were talking about are definitely old school, but we love Adrian Adonis. We love him so much that we run his shop. So if you want to get Canada Dry a really great Christmas present, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis.
Oh, now I feel bad. I didn't draft him. Like, I could have fit him in somewhere, but it's hard.
Well, we'll have rounds 6 through 10.
But a second tier draft.
Yeah, we'll have a second tier draft. Yeah. So we'll go through free agents and all that stuff. So, but yeah, you can go to Adrian Adonis's, get a couple of t-shirts of his. That's it. I mean, I thought we had a great show. Also, if you can, go to our Apple iTunes page and download the podcast. And if you can, leave a 5-star review. 5 stars, and I will read them on the air.
10 stars.
Yeah, give us 10 stars. 20, if at all possible.
Tokyo Dome, Dave Meltzer, 10 star.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah, perfect 10. Perfect 10. So on behalf of Liam Wakeland,
I wanted to say something. Hold on. I was going to say something about the effing expert. He was playing Call of Duty the other day, and tell him what happened.
So I always use these microphones here because I got a gaming PC now, right? So I hook up my podcast microphones and use that for in-game chat and my Twitch streaming and all that. And I joined a lobby, and I was like, "Good evening, gentlemen." And this dude that was on my team was like, bro, you got a phone sex operator voice, man. What is with that? I was like, well, hey, pal, you want to PayPal me after this? I mean, we can talk.
How you doing?
I told Aaron that. He thought that was hilarious.
That is freaking hilarious. That is
so in with this, I want to get you with your sexiest voice saying, remember to just keep fighting, and we'll end the show.
Okay, so on behalf of Liam Wakeland, the effing expert, Canada Dry, I am the JFB.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, just keep fighting.
Ooh, sexy. Hit it, interns.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.